Hello again from my front porch. It is a bright and sunny day here in Iowa, which is good because we had some rainy, blowy weather over the weekend, and we're probably going to get some more on over at least part of this coming weekend. But right now, it's is today the first full day of our fair? Maybe it was yesterday here. But anyway, our state fair just started up, and so this is a really good day for the fair to be starting up. But speaking of the fair, if you're going to be around the Iowa State Fair on Wednesday, August 16, make sure you're there before 10 a.m. so that you can be there when the national anthem is performed at the Iowa State Fair by yours truly. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. Anyway, what I want to talk about today, though, is something a little less positive, frankly. As you know, I've been dealing with stuff related to my parents, helping handle the paperwork stuff for them, and dealing with different financial things, helping them navigate through some stuff, and that's been interesting, educational. Maybe that's a better word for me to use. But what has really come glaringly out, and it's not like I was surprised. I mean, it's not like this is new, like I'm naive that I didn't know this stuff happened. But just after a while, you see it in a very different context than just yourself, what you normally see, and that causes you to begin to have a little deeper focus on that, and that's what this is. And what I want to talk about is this sense of manipulated urgency. Where there's all these mostly letters that my parents get that are apparently legalized scams, where they get all these letters saying, oh, this is, you might be in jeopardy of losing this, or you'll be paying more money if you do. It's all these things. It's all carefully worded to try to get you to purchase some product or sign on with some plan, or get you to do something with this vendor, and you're not obligated to. The scare tactic that they're using is smoke and mirrors. Could you maybe have a problem in possibly some people would, but well, first of all, my parents know the things that they get this stuff on, the stuff that they're being told you could be at risk of losing. No, they're not going to. That's not at all. But there are gullible people. There just are, and I wish there weren't as many gullible people as there are. But there are a lot of gullible people, and frankly, the political parties prey on the gullible people. They value they cultivate gullibility. And I'm sad to say that my brethren in my first profession of journalism, there are a lot of people in the journalism profession who go right along with it. The whole point of having a free open press is supposed to be to ensure a fully informed citizenry. You'd be really hard pressed to say that the United States has a fully informed citizenry today, because we ever at best hear half the story, if we get even that much. We get sold these narratives without substance, and when it really gets pushed on doing the substance, there's nothing of substance to do. Oh, hi, Wiggles. You coming to say hi? Here, come up here and say hi, Wiggs. Say hi, Wiggs. Hi. I can't hold you though because I got my microphone on. You'll mess that up. But so apparently Wiggs wants to come up and say hi. Yeah, Wiggles is visiting. So is her sister Nala, the kitty. But Nala's lounging nicely by the front porch door over there, so she's totally okay where she's at. Anyway, but my parents get these letters that prey off this same kind of concept about the sense you need to respond to you need to, or you could, and it's all these scare tactics. And now my parents, they have issues. They're getting along in years, and they don't understand everything. But fortunately, both of them are world wise enough to know when they see this kind of stuff, their first reaction is not, oh, I got to do something. Their first reaction is, I don't know if this passes the smell test. Let's ask Paul. and so that's, yeah, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. 99.9% of the time, their response is totally accurate, because that is it is not legit. The way it's worded, the way it's presented, is misleading at best. I would say an outright bald-faced lie at worst. And the sad thing is, the way that this stuff is done, as I said, it looks legal. It looks authentic. And the fact that these companies spend so much money to produce these things, so carefully, strategically worded, tells me what they're doing is considered legal. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't risk that kind of investment to try to do that. But frankly, these efforts to make you feel like, oh, again, back to the political segment, I swear, every single election cycle that I can remember, all the way back into the mid 80s, when I was first gearing up to be able to vote, all the way back to there that I personally remember, and as a former certified licensed U.S. government and U.S. history teacher, I know that it goes even farther back than that. But just drawing on my own personal experience, go back to the 1980s, and from that point on, every single election is touted as, this is the most crucial election for the future of our... Why, if our side loses this election, democracy as we know it will come to an end. Why, the forces of evil will march across the face of the earth. Oh, it's horrible. Those people are fascists. Those people are Nazis. Those people are communists. Those people are, all these labels and extremism terms get thrown around. And it's all designed to try to motivate you and me to do something that we otherwise would not do. Because politically speaking, we sit back and we look at the debates going on and we go, what? That doesn't matter to me. What are you arguing? What are you fighting about that for? That's not important to me. How come you're not talking about the stuff that matters to me? And then all of a sudden, some big thing happens, so that you stop paying attention to the stuff that matters to you and what you would like to see done meaty over here, and we get wrapped up in this cause over here. We have to champion and fight for this, and it's this manipulative thing. And this is where my tinfoil hat goes on. I think sometimes these crises that are touted from political leaders are fabricated. I don't think they even really, truly exist. Are there little bits and pieces of something? Sure. But then they get overblown and over-dramatized and turned into something that is a cause bigger than what it really is down here, because this big thing they can latch onto and they can turn it into a crisis, an urgent crisis, something that you need to move on quick. So you need to volunteer. You need to donate money. You need to put a sign in your yard. You need to make phone calls. You need to make sure you vote for these groups of candidates or against these groups of candidates because of this big thing that isn't even really an issue in the first place. But we've made it out to be, to try to manipulate people into feeling like there's this sense of urgency. We have to do this or civilization comes to an end. Now, I talk about it in the political sense, and we go, oh yeah, that's horrible. That just annoys me. Okay, but now shift back to these marketing things that go out that prey on people. And there are people my age and younger who could fall for this kind of stuff, but a lot of it's targeted to people like my parents, older people who potentially, I'm not talking about my parents specifically, but as you get up in age, your mental acuity on average diminishes. Excuse me. There are always exceptions to every rule. And so there are absolute genius, sharp-witted people well into their hundreds. That's documented. We know that. But most people, as you start crossing into those upper years, the brain isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. Your reflexes and your responses and your reactions and just your ability to comprehend new information, new scenarios around you seems to be a little impeded. And it's no fault of the individual. It's just a result of the brain getting older. But so now that group of people seems targeted pretty heavily with marketing that's designed to confuse and even scare them so that they will rush right, grab that phone and call this person, do whatever. Because I shouldn't say a lot. I don't want to overgeneralize. But I know that there are a lot of elderly individuals who do not have people in their life like my parents have myself and my other 4 siblings. That we're looking out for them. We're helping support them. We talk with them about this stuff. We help guide them through things. We advise them on these kind of things. So my parents have us that they can lean on. But a lot of people like my parents don't have that kind of support. Even if they have kids, they can't always depend on those kids, sadly. And I hate to say it, but some kids are more interested in what they're going to get out of mom and dad, what they're going to get when mom and dad are gone, than they are in trying to help mom and dad have a good, decent life while they're here. That, I'm thankful to say, is not myself nor any of my siblings. We are very invested in trying to make sure that our parents still lead a good, healthy, safe life for however long their life is, and that we want to see that extended for as long as possible too. That is what we are all unified in getting done. But again, a lot of elderly people don't have that kind of support network. And so those individuals then become easy target for these other entities to come in, send them their little thing. My dad says sometimes he gets calls on the phone where somebody calls up and they're saying all the right things. They're making it sound like there's something official. But again, he can be cranky and sometimes he has trouble hearing clearly, but he's also very cynical. And he's ornery enough that he can spot ornery when he sees it or when he hears it. And so when he starts to feel like this is clearly some sales thing they're trying to get, then he'll really lay on the old man trip. What? I care. What did you say? Did you say it's going to rain on Sunday? Is that what you? I'm sure he just irritates the people at the other end, which is okay. I mean, I know they're getting paid, they're just doing their job, but still, if you're calling up an elderly person trying to prey on them and hoping that they're gullible enough to just agree to whatever it is you're asking for, give them their credit card information on the phone or whatever, you call my parents, get my dad on the phone, you're going to earn the money you're getting paid for that period of time that you're talking to him. So I'm not saying this because I'm worried that my parents are falling for stuff, because thankfully they have not. However, it does expose to me that this kind of stuff is all over the place out there, and there are obviously a lot of people who are falling for it. Otherwise, this stuff wouldn't get mailed out. These phone calls wouldn't get made. And I don't know if there's any legal recourse. I don't know if there's any legislation or law that can be passed, because first of all, legal entities, authorities probably don't even know this stuff is happening unless somebody shares a copy of the letter with them. Because it's not like there's a federal agency of proofreading your marketing mailers before they go out. I'm not advocating for that. We should not have that. That would be a huge infringement, First Amendment wise. And so the problem, though, is then you have the individuals who are unscrupulous, who take advantage of the freedoms that we have in our nation, especially First Amendment, and exploit those freedoms for their own personal, I would even say illicit gain. And that's sad to see. Very, very sad and frustrating. I got to keep my guard up, got to be diligent, looking out for my parents. But you need to do that as well. You may not be dealing with these letters to the elderly folks that go out like that, but I've even seen things at times where I've got letters that imply it's like from some collection agency, and it's saying if you don't do blah blah blah, you will risk paying this amount. And what it is, it's like a credit card consolidation plan, and all it really is saying, hey, take out this loan from us to consolidate all of your credit cards into this one payment, and you'll save this much money. That's really what it is. But the way it's presented is like it's from some credit department thing saying if you don't do this, it'll cost you all this extra. Well, the extra is what I would just normally pay, But of course, then there's the interest on there, Anyway, smoke and mirrors. It's all intended to try to confuse you and get you to go, oh, well, maybe I should do this, through that manipulated sense of urgency. And so I just can't stand that. But we are gearing up politically. Wasn't just citing politics because it's a reference to throw back to. It ties with this. It's this same manipulative concept. We're gearing up now towards political cycles. We have candidates hoofing it around all over the place. They're all over the state fair out here now, going to be out there doing stuff. And they're all doing this too. The political parties especially are doing this too. The buzzwords, the lingo, the things that are being championed and being pushed. And I just hang my head and I just can't. I'm like, really? This is what we're going to emphasize? But the funny thing is we start emphasizing it and then there's all these people that just jump on the bandwagon blindly and say, oh, this is the cause we're fighting for today. No, this is the cause we're fighting for today. Why are you fighting this cause? I don't know, but it's the cause. Don't be gullible. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated on your sense of urgency. Really think about what matters to you. What is important to you? And then evaluate whatever any politician is spewing out to you or any political party. Evaluate that against what matters to you. Don't change your priorities to suit them. You look out for yourself. They are supposed to be looking out for you, not the other way around. So, whether it's junk mailing, whether it's phone calls, whether it's politicians, whether it's salespeople, whether it's infomercials you see on the TV, I love the ones that say, if you call within the next 10 minutes, you'll get this blah, blah, blah discount. And people actually pick up the phone. Oh, I got to hurry up and call and tell it. This company they don't even know what time the commercial aired, let alone what day it's not like they're tracking. They're not going, well, it's Thursday at 10 p.m. And so people better call in by Thursday at 10 p.m. or they don't get, that's not, it's a manipulated sense of urgency. They're telling you have to call in that period of time because they want to hurry up. They want to push you to make the decision. They want you just sitting back, writing down the number and going, let me think about that. No, because if you stop and think about it, you don't do what they want you to do. And that probably is the biggest red flag of all in all of this. If whatever you're being offered, whatever you're being told, whatever you're being pushed to do does not allow you the opportunity to pause and think about it on your own, run the other direction, because whatever it is trying to manipulate you. If they won't let you think about it, out the door it goes. If you've got to move right now, you've got to act right now. Nope. That's manipulative. Shut it down. All right. Well, with that, I just had to share. Yammer about it. And show off my Kermit shirt again. See my Kermit the Frog. Hello, Kermit the Frog here. And so for myself and for Wiggles, who's here apparently biting her nails. I think we need to go get your nails done. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.